Get ETH.
Yeah.
All right. So ETH, same thing, right? If you look at just this structure on Ethereum, it's not quite as sexy as Bitcoin, admittedly, but it's still an uptrend. I mean, you're still, for the most part, creating higher highs, higher lows, right? Higher highs, higher lows. This we got stuffed at that 4K level a couple of times still. So that's the obviously the
It's the Cheeto.
yeah, that's the Cheetah on the door. So we popped through it twice. That's like what 39K. Yeah, we popped through it twice and just rejected and came back down and rejected again here. Once we break through that though, we go to Valhalla.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we were talking about on Monday, saying that not all levels are going to move the same. It's like we're going to grind through that 4,000 level.
Right.
It's going to continue to happen until eventually we definitively break through it. And then you're going to see ETH fly to the next level.
Right.
Which I think when we had drawn out the fibs, it was around 4,700 was the next critical level. And then above that, it was 54, 5,500.
Right.
So yeah, once Ethereum, I mean, it's holding a critical level right now, which is good. I know yesterday we had off stream, I was looking at a few charts and I know we'd drawn out a couple things that this like 3550, 3600 level on Ethereum is pretty critical for it to hold.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it dips below it, it's not the end of the world. We've been saying it, Ethereum's not going to get left in the dust this cycle. It's just people think this every cycle that it's going to be a Bitcoin only party.
Right.
And then out of nowhere, Ethereum starts gaining traction. Once it breaks the resistance level, it keeps bumping its head on. It just starts flying.
Right.
Um, so I think we're going to see the same thing. I think this is a really good level to hold, though. And I think if anyone's going to be doing longs on ETH or wants to just hold spot ETH for this cycle, if for some reason you want to do that, maybe you can't handle the volatility of the boys club and you just want to play it a little bit safer, or whatever. This is probably a pretty good entry point to do so.
Right. So we got some good questions coming in the chat. So this is good. So John asked, "Do you guys think that it's mythical?" So I'm assuming he means possible. Is it mythical for Pepe to possibly reach 50 cents this bull run? Okay. That's a great question. So I understand that a question like that, and this is not to, this is not anything personal, but a question like that tells me you're definitely new to this space, because when you look at assets like these, you got to base them off of market cap. Okay. Market cap is how you evaluate the price of an asset. So market cap is the supply of the token multiplied by the price of each token. Okay. So the supply multiplied by the price. So Pepe is not going to go to 50 cents, because for it to get to 50 cents, the market cap evaluation on that would have to be completely outrageous. Okay. It's just essentially not possible. So you can't look at each coin for the individual coin price and say that, oh, wow, Pepe is literally, if we look at it right now, Pepe is, hold on one sec, 0.0000019. So what is that? 10 thousandths? What is that? Tens, hundred thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. Like it's 100,000th of a cent, right? Or of a dollar. So for it to get to 50 cents, the market cap of Pepe would have to be absolutely outrageous. That's just not going to happen, right? So the way you got to look at it is, well, what's the market cap of Pepe right now? What do I believe it can go to? So the market cap of Pepe right now is sub 10 billion. If Pepe does a 10x and goes to 100 billion, that's realistic. That's possible, okay? So the way you got to look at it is, well, if I buy $1,000 of Pepe, not will it go to 50 cents, but can I turn this $1,000 into 5,000, which is a 5x, so $50 billion market cap, or can I turn that $1,000 into $10,000, which is a 10x, which means Pepe would go to $100 billion market cap. So that's how you would base it. Not is it going to go to 50 cents? It wouldn't. It's not going to go to 50 cents, right? Does that make so? I mean, if it makes sense to you in the chat, John, let me know.
Yeah, I think the easiest way that I look at it is just remembering that Doge. So Dogecoin is the kind of the ceiling for meme coins.
Mm-hmm.
So what was his name? You said
John.
John. Okay. Yeah. So the way I always look at it is Doge is the highest market cap a meme coin has ever gone to, and it was about 90 billion.
Mm-hmm.
So for right now, that's kind of the ceiling for meme coins. So whenever you look at something like Pepe that's at 8 billion market cap right now, you know that if it goes as high as Dogecoin did, which was the highest market cap on a meme coin ever, that's going to give you room for about 10 to 12 multiples on your investment. So that'd be about a 10 to 12x. Where something like Landwolf, that is at $200 million market cap. If that went to where Dogecoin is, is at currently, that'd be like a 450x.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you want to look for. Priyamo would say the same thing. We never pay attention to the price on any meme coins. Like if you're looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum, obviously you're going to pay attention to the price because it's, whole dollar amount. It's easy to understand. But for any kind of meme coins, yeah, just look at the market cap. And that's how you can kind of determine how many multiples you could expect to do off your investment, depending on how it performs.
Exactly. So if you want to find the market cap for anything, John, you would go to CoinGecko, and if you look up Pepe or you look up one of these coins, it'll give you the market cap on it, and then that's how you would determine it. So I just threw some fibs on here for you guys for Pepe. So these fibs are in log mode. So why would I use log fibs? Log fibs, you want to use those in a bull run, because when you're in a logarithmic scale, that means there's exponential growth happening. So you put this, the chart is in log mode right now for Pepe, and then I put logarithmic fibs over top of it, because if it's a bull market and you believe that this asset's going to grow exponentially, linear mode and linear fibs aren't going to give you a good targets to look for in terms of the next price for Pepe. So on these fibs, you can see how it interacts pretty well with this support line at the 1. So Pepe, the first target on the log fibs is going to be the 1.618, which is about 0.00042. So that's a little bit over a 2x from here. Okay. So that would be the next target for Pepe. And this is why I was saying right now in our private chat, where we give our live updates and positions, things that we're buying, things that we're doing to our organization. This level, I'll just tell you now on YouTube, is where we were looking to enter in Pepe longs and buy more Pepe. Why? Because it's using this as a support level, this 0, right? So when it comes down in here and tests this 1.7, 1.75, 1.8 on Pepe, this is where you want to be buying or entering in longs, because the risk to reward ratio for you is going to be huge, because there's not going to be much more downside, considering that it's using this as support. So it's not going to go much lower, but your upside is bang, all the way up to this 1.618, which is over a 2x. You open up a 10x leverage long on Pepe, a 5x leverage long on Pepe, you're going to make out with 1,000% gain on your money, right? So that's what people look to do whenever they're trying to long these assets. Now, I don't actually recommend necessarily you do that, but that's just to show you how, show you how you would look at it. So Pepe,
had to put on the loggles for this one.
Yeah, I had to throw on some log skis for him. So those are the loggles. But if we take it off of log and we look at the linear chart, right? So that's our target for Pepe, the 4.2. So that'd be a little bit over a 2x. If we look at Pepe on linear, which I don't necessarily believe that would be ideal, but just to see if there's any kind of confluence, let's take the fibs from the linear mode. So if I go right here from the bottom of the range, and then make sure that this is in linear, these fibs. Okay, yeah, so we're good. So these are linear. So it's similar, but you see how they don't necessarily interact with the linear fibs as well, right? It kind of is a little bit more sporadic. But your level, the 1.618, had already been tapped, which was the 2.4. And then we nuked back down. We're trying to use this as support. So the next level on the linear fibs would actually be 3.5 as opposed to 4.2 on the logarithmic. So then you would say, all right, do I believe that this is going to be our next local top, or do I believe 4.2 is going to be our next local top, which is where the 4.2 was up in here. So 4.2 would be up around in here. So what you could say is, well, there's some confluence. If our logarithmic 1.618 is up in here, our linear 3.618 is over here. So you could argue, okay, I would be looking to, how do we throw on? Let me throw on a text box. What do I want to use?
Let them cook.
Yeah, hold on. I'm getting some fire. I had it mapped out already.
Can you draw the Elliott fades on Pepe?
Hell no. Where the hell is this box at? They took it from me.
Are we on the 5th wave?
Yeah, probably, right? That's why it's over. But I
On
would
the 5th fade.
I would look for the confluence in here. So I would look for the next local top on Pepe once it makes its next leg higher to be in this area right here between the 3.618 on the linear and the 1.618 on the logarithmic fib. So then this is an area you would look for Pepe to hit next. So up in here, right? Do you guys think crypto is going to be the new cash replacing fiat? Of course, it already is the new cash. I don't know anybody who has fiat anymore. Why would you hold cash?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of countries that are already fully adopting it. You know, like if you look at El Salvador, they've already made crypto the official currency of their country.
Right.
Which a lot of the families that have lived there for a lot of years, you know, I was listening to some of the stories. They were saying that their family has built legacies multiple times over the years. You know, over the past 40 to 50 years, they've built up a great legacy, great companies, just to have everything taken away from them due to the instability of these, you know, countries' currencies. And they were just so grateful that they were able to use crypto now to finally have something, you know, that they can depend on, that they can count on. They're not going to get their feet swept out from underneath them and have their legacy destroyed again.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of countries, they're already using it to stabilize their economy, stabilize the businesses that they have there, and they're putting a lot of tax benefits in place for people that do utilize crypto.
Mm-hmm.
You know, removing taxes earned on capital gains from crypto. You know, not putting taxes on purchases made with crypto. So, yeah, a lot of governments are realizing the benefits, especially in, you know, some countries that historically haven't had the most stable economies. And I think that the United States is probably going to continue to lag just because everyone's got a price on their head in
Right.
US politics. Everyone can be bought out.
Right.
So if you look at investment corporations like Goldman Sachs and some of these massive institutions, they know that if people continue to move more and more towards crypto, that's money coming out of their pocket and out of their investment firm.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to do everything they can to jam up the process of adopting crypto in full. So I think the US is probably going to be a laggard, but other countries are seeing the benefit, and I think it's going to continue to go that direction for sure.
Absolutely. And you can go down the conspiracy theory route and all those ideas as to why they might be debasing the value of the money, et cetera, et cetera. But long story short, there was a reason that we were on a gold standard before we came off that gold standard. Because at the end of the day, there does need to be something that backs your currency. Now, right now for the US government, what backs our currency is the US military. That's what backs our currency, right?
People with guns.
People with guns, people with power, people with guns, you can enforce that. And that's just the reality of the world that we live in. We didn't need gold anymore because we have the US military. So people are going to use our money regardless. Now, if that starts to wane, or that power starts to wane, or people start to figure out ways to get off of the US dollar as a universal reserve currency for the globe, the US dollar has nothing backing it. There's nothing to protect the value of the dollar. So once the threat of violence is gone for the US dollar, what happens to the US dollar? Well, it's going to fucking collapse. So this is why other countries have already done this, like El Salvador, like Logan was talking about, have already started accumulating Bitcoin in these assets that appreciate, not depreciate over time like a US dollar due to inflation, in order to protect themselves from bankruptcy, in order to protect themselves from their currencies of collapsing, right, due to hyperinflation and those sorts of things. That's a potential for the US down the road, right? So as more and more countries adopt cryptocurrency and use Bitcoin as a reserve currency, similar to the way that they use gold, that's bullish. And they're going to have to do it because at some point, the value of money that is not backed by anything will go to zero. The US dollar is going to zero as we speak. There's literally nothing backing it, and they print more and more of it every single day. Therefore, the value is going down. At some point, they're going to have to do something to fix that.